Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be playing against the computer in chess. And unlike my other video, where I put the computer at a really dumb level, this time I'm actually gonna, I hope, find the challenge. So let's see how I do. Alright, so I guess I'm white. And gonna play a d4.
Pawn d7 to d5.
Okay. And now, I guess I'll just do a Queen's Gambit. I really like that.
Pawn e7 to e5.
Okay then. You know, that's a really great counter move. Never really thought of that. To be honest, I could just take. Like this.
Pawn d5 to d4.
And then attack.
Knight b8 to c6.
Obviously, the knight comes out. And now... maybe it's that.
Bishop f8 to b4. Check.
Oh, okay. That's a good move. So, do you think the knight on b1 should go up and block it? I don't think so, because then the pawn on d4 will take the pawn on e3, and now I'm going to be forced to take with the f-pawn, and now I'm going to get double pawns. I think this is a good move. Maybe not. Yeah, he got me. A could play this. This is risky though.
Bishop b4 takes d2.
Oh, that's really lucky. I thought he was gonna take like the pawn in e3. So then I'll have like the worst pawn pair, like pawn islands, but like they're doubled up. Alright, so that's good.
Pawn f7 to f6.
Alright. I could get rid of the double pawn.
Pawn d4 takes e3.
And oh, this is a good move, I think. Because now one of his pieces
Knight c6 takes d8.
And now I get this pawn.
Pawn e3 takes f2. Check.
I don't really care.
Knight d8 to f7.
Alright, and then I get the rook. Now this
Knight f7 takes h8.
Promotes my pawn to a queen. I could have promoted to something else, but I think right now I'm ahead. Black only has 3 minor pieces and a rook. I have 3 minor pieces and 2 rooks. And I also got an extra pawn. Alright, so this is a better challenge than last time. Last time, I gotta admit, that was kind of bad. Alright, so...
Knight h8 to g6.
I could check, I guess. Yeah, I'll check.
Knight g8 to e7.
Uh-huh. And then now... I guess I'll just go with basic development. Or I can move this pawn, knight on f3. Man. Oh, yeah, I can move the knight to g5, attacking the pawn.
Bishop c8 to f5.
That is not a good move. You guys gotta figure this out. Why is bishop to f5 not a good move? Why? Alright. You can pause the video, but I'm going to tell you the answer right now. This bishop on f5 is not protected. Even though it seems like it's protected by the knight on e7, that knight on e7 is pinned, so it cannot take back if my bishop takes. The knight on e7 cannot take because
Pawn h7 to h6.
Alright. And that's also a bad move because then I could just take the knight again, this knight.
King e8 to d8.
Alright. And now I can do this.
King d8 to e8.
And should I take the pawn and discover check or should I double check? I could do this. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this.
King e8 to d8.
Alright. And then I check.
King d8 to c8.
And then we trade. I hope this is a good move. Oh, it is going to be a good move. Because look. If the black king on c8 takes my knight on b7, then I could do this and skewer the black king and the rook. Now, where was this piece again? I don't want to move it. I think it was here. Yeah. So in the meantime, I could just take the initiative and take the knight. He takes
King c takes b7.
and now I check. Alright.
King b7 to b8.
Alright. Since that is what he did, can you find checkmate in 1? I think this is checkmate in 1. Many people, they'll be really tempted just to go over this and take the rook. In this case, no. No. You should not take the rook. Because then you'll lose the bishop. And this bishop is actually guarding a really important square. It's guarding b7. Now think of it this way. Instead of this bishop watching the b7 square, let's put a black pawn there. Alright? And now, imagine that black pawn. Just like think about that black pawn there. Alright? And now you could easily do a back rank mate. Checkmate. But now there's no black pawn. This bishop is acting as that black pawn. You don't want to take the rook. Otherwise, the king takes and you don't have checkmate anymore. Best move. This is checkmate. Black, he should not have gone down to b8. Yes, he would lose the rook for free, because any other square would make him lose the rook for free. Unless he moved to c6. Pawn c6. Oh wait, no, that's pin. Alright, screw that. So yeah, he'll just lose his rook, and I'll get it for free. You might think this is bad, but it's not as bad as losing the game. He still has a chance of drawing. So let's see. This is checkmate, I think. Yeah. So that's checkmate. So in this game, a lot to learn. Thing is, do not try to save all your pieces. For black, he tried to save his rook. In this very last position, he tried to save his rook. And what happened? Checkmate. So you should not, like, really... You should think of checkmate as a more valuable thing than any other piece. Right? That's why the king is considered priceless. Like, there's no point. A queen is 9 points, a rook is 5 points, bishops are 3 points, knights are 3 points, pawns are 1 point. But the king is the whole game. Nothing else matters once you lose the king. So, make sure you don't this is how I value my pieces. I don't go by this point count system where a pawn is 1 point, knights and bishops are 3 points, rooks are 5 points, queens are 9 points, and the king is the whole game. I go by, depending on the position, that's how much I'll value my piece. So, screw all of the other, points. Forget that you learned a rook was 5 points and knights and bishops are 3 points, etc. Just focus on the position. This is how people make queen sacrifices. They forget that the queen is 9 points, the second highest value piece. They forget about that, and they make their queen sacrifice. They could just think of it as 1 point if the queen was doing absolutely nothing. So that's how you gotta make your sacrifices. Forget about point count. Just based on the position. If the queen is really, really bad, or the rook is really, really useless, sacrifice it. Maybe you could sacrifice it for a pawn. A rook for a pawn. Might sound bad according to point count system, but if it's according to your position and according to you, that rook was 1 point and the pawn was 2 points, the pawn that you took was 2 points, then you could do it. So don't always rely on a pawn is 1 point. Bishops and knights are 3 points. Just focus on position and sacrifice if necessary. So that will be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notifications bell if you want to see more chess videos.